Hello there.
Hey, Kathy, how are you?
Welcome to your session.
Thank you. I hope everybody's enjoying the session so far.
We had a good talk. I think there's some really interesting and eye-opening data.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty.
So before we start, a technical question. How do we enable a slideshow to enable animations in these slides? Cannot hear you.
Yeah, that's a good point. I put myself on mute. The answer is I do not know. Unless we go to desktop share. Do you want me to put your presentation on desktop?
Sorry, what was the question again?
If you want to use the animation, there's something with speakers. I think neither one of us have headsets on, so we're getting feedback. So I just turned your microphone off temporarily. I can, if you want, share your presentation from the desktop so it will animate.
From your desktop? I'm fine with that. Can't hear you, Kathy.
Okay, let me get everything up here and get your presentation. It's opening up now. I hardwire, when we have an event, I hardwire and shut everything down. So now it's just opening everything up now again. So I'm going to open up your mic. I'm going to go on mute and I will share my desktop.
Thank you. All right. So Kathy, can you hear me? All right. So thanks everyone. And sorry for the small delay. So I know it's has been a long session. I think we have very good speakers that presented very interesting data from All Answer Consulting, ACI, and PaySafe. I want to close with a presentation that reinforces the importance of retention, taking a little bit of a different angle on retention in addition to payments. As I mentioned in my opening comment, most of the businesses focus on subscriber acquisition and the quality of the product and the service. And really, they don't pay too much attention into retention until it becomes a painful challenge that prevents them from the business growth. So from that perspective, at that time is probably more expensive to implement, and it's always a lot cheaper to retain existing customers than acquire new ones. So that will be the focus of the presentation that I have in the next few minutes. We can go to the next one. So if you look at the world there, and I'm pretty sure that you know this, if you feel that you were alone out there, you are not.
Hey, everybody, it's Kathy. I think Jesus's internet just kicked him off for some reason. So I'm going to give him a second to get back. I'm assuming you can hear me. Okay, good. Thanks, Patrick. All righty. Do I see him here? No, I don't. Murphy's Law. We have an Irishman at the helm here, so we have Murphy's Law. So I would like to talk to Nelson and Ish, if you can talk to me. If Jesus can't get back online, can one of you continue with the presentation? Or not, if not one of you, can somebody else, if he can't get back online? If you can answer in the chat, that'd be great. Because I know this is a great presentation and I know he's worked really hard on it. Okay. I'm going to go back to the and put this up at least for people. So Nelson and or Ish, can you text Jesus? Yep, thank you, Ish. Okay, so we have a little bit of technical difficulties. We're getting a little bit of everything today, but that's okay. One of the things we are going to be doing with this, I'm going to send everybody a survey on some of the things that really worked well for you guys and other things. So, hey, Jesus, how are you?
Hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay. We're starting off great, and the internet is sometimes not our best friend. So I'm going to continue to share and let's get on with the presentation.
Okay, sounds good.
All righty.
So, so we're not going to be able to do the animations. All right. So again, sorry for the glitches. As I mentioned before, I mean, if you thought that you were alone out there, the consumers are facing plenty of subscription offerings. So every business is exploring how they address the challenge they have been facing during the COVID-19 crisis, where everything is remote, and whether that's going to be a situation that is going to last. And even before the crisis, Sopta was predicting or forecasting that 75% of retailers will launch a subscription service by 2023. We believe that that's going to accelerate because of the new reality we're facing, and that where subscription businesses are showing resiliency, and everybody is going to try to explore at least one of their line of business to be on a subscription model. Maybe we can go to the next one. So if you look at that and why we believe retention is the one that drives long-term sustainable growth, I just have a quick example here. A subscription business that, let's say, is adding 500 subscribers per month for a period of 2 years. Click on the next one. Versus a subscription business that is adding those 500 subscribers per month, but with a retention rate that is 5 points higher than the previous one. So 93% versus 88%. Click on the next one. So if that is a sustainable track, click on the next one. We can see there that, sorry, click on the next one. You can see there that implies that that company can really have a subscriber base that is 42% higher than the company that has only 5 points less in retention rate in a monthly basis. This is a significant example on how that retention impacts subscription growth, and is the cheapest way to achieve that. Now, complementing that, you see on the left side the phases of the subscription business, and I think our friend Robbie Kelman-Baxter for that in the way that she described the different phases of the subscription business. But in general, there are 3 phases, correct? Where when you're launching the business, you are gathering resources, whether it's money, time, support. You're setting the expectations in the market. You're building that support structure. You are defining what they call the forever promise. If you're looking at a subscription, it's a continuous relationship with that consumer. So is that a forever promise? And then you start to find the product and market fit. So an example of that, and you can click on the next one, Kathy, is Nike Adventure Club that is probably in that phase at this stage. If you look at the next phase, which is when you start scaling your business, you are already transforming the culture. You are starting to build that infrastructure that will allow you to scale. You're fine-tuning your pricing and defining the matrix, and evolving your offering based on the market reaction. And then an example of that is electronic arts. And then if we go to the next phase, which is the mature business that is leading, it's fights to stay forever, John, to isolate themselves from the subscription fatigue, and having a look at the future while paying attention to the details and creating that experience. Unfortunately, most of the businesses on the subscription model start paying attention to retention when they are somewhere in the scale or lead phases. And at that point, it's very costly to start implementing retention strategies. When you are building your business thinking retention or having retention in mind, it's a lot easier to accomplish that. So we can jump to the next one. So there are some interesting examples about how churn can be an inhibitor of the growth of your business. So we click the next one. So this is a recent study during the COVID-19 crisis. And as you can see, I think the PLC team mentioned that, and ACI and PaySafe. The subscription model is resilient, and it's shown here. So as you can see, 67% of the subscription companies that we're surveyed are saying that they are either accelerating their business growth or they are having limited impact. And that includes in the acceleration phase, companies like the OTT, video streaming, e-learning, digital news and media. Those with limited impact are more in the general software membership area, some telcos and utilities and communication software. And then there are a few, the other 30-some% that is either slowing down or contracted, more on the consumer IoT, travel and hospitality has been impacting significantly, real estate, and so on. But the majority, close to 70% of the businesses are either showing growth or flat. If we go to the next one. Now, I think this was mentioned several times during the day, 23.6% of payments with card not present fail terminally. That means that after you do your retries as a merchant, in average, 23.6% of your renewals fail for any issues in the payment ecosystem. And go to the next one. But if we look at subscriptions, payments is a key element and an integral part of what a subscription experience is. But people tend to subscribe to experiences rather than subscribe to companies or a specific product. And that's what shows here in this study from McKinsey, that 28% of the consumers interviewed subscribe to experiences. And that's part of the retention strategy that we think every company should implement. So if we go to the next one. So when we talk about experience, there are few examples on some digital native players that disrupted the user relationships. If you look at Netflix, they innovated in the market, providing content, all the content you wanted to consume at a fixed fee, but more importantly, they kept it very personalized, very relevant for you, with a personalized grid of the content based on your preferences and based on your consumption history. If you look at Apple Store, they took a similar model. They allow that family account where you can share a library of music, you can share, you can have your individual playlist, and you share the account with some entitlements with an account holder that pays for the account, but it's a resource that can be shared. If you look at Nest, in the home security and home automation area, they control or manage several devices paid by an account holder, but that can entitle other users to access some of the different devices. And if you are a minor, you cannot probably open the door, but you can turn off the lights and so on. And then Uber look at the same thing, correct? They have a ride-sharing business, ride-sharing application, and now they allow to users not only to share the cost of their ride, but based on their partnership with Spotify, they can listen to the same music. So these are players that are keeping the user in mind rather than the account holder in mind, and that's part of what the subscription businesses are transforming to and are evolving to. And again, payment is a key part of it, but it's an element in that experience. And if we go to the next one, you can see this, and the way we look at it is for you to be a successful business that drives retention and drives growth, you need to provide an end-to-end user experience where the user experience, that part that deals with all the aspects associated with the onboarding of that subscriber, the access, what are the entitlements, what are the groups that they can create, assign responsibilities or part of that subscription. All that is the identity management, is that user identity management. And then you need to couple that very closely with your commerce part, which is the payments. How you define your products and offerings, how you define trial periods and discounts, capture that payment, do the tax and settlement that sometimes seems to be transparent for the consumer, but is a key part of what is behind the scenes, how you manage that payment failure, and of course the reporting and care, which is critical. So if we go to the next one, I just want to show a quick case study. So this is a fitness service company. It's one of our customers. And if you look at this, and you can click twice now, they were experiencing in the past 6 months an average of almost 42,000 failed renewal transactions per month, with an impact of about 2.6 million every month in those failed renewal transactions. Go to the next one. So we got together with them and we implemented our service. So we can click on the next one, Kathy, and two more. And then after the implementation of the service, we were able to recover in average 19% of those failed renewal transactions, and we helped them recover a cumulative 2.4 million during that 6-month period. So basically around 400,000 a month, which is a significant impact in the business, because now you can put that back in the bottom line of the business that otherwise you were ready to write it off after you use all your retry logic. So this is a key advantage for the business. And the other part, which is not shown in this chart, is in our experience, every time that we recover a payment that is associated with a recurrent subscription, that subscriber stays with that business for an average of 6 to 7 months longer after that payment is recovered. And the reason is because that subscriber was never intended to cancel that subscription. The payment failed for several reasons in the supply chain, in the payment ecosystem, and now that subscription was properly healed and renewed, they stay with that merchant for another 6 to 7 months. So in a summary, if you can click on a couple of slides down, the key messages that we wanted to convey in this last presentation is that it doesn't matter what the phase of your subscription business is at, retention is key for your sustainable long-term growth. So don't wait until you have that problem in your hands when you are trying to grow, when you're scaling, or when you are on the top and you're starting to experience a significant level of retention. You need to put the retention strategies in place from the beginning to avoid that. User experience will drive acquisition and retention. So as we said, 28% of the users stay because of the experience, and payments is part of it. So that's why frictionless payment process is essential for that user experience. I don't have the stat in front of me, but failed payment transactions is one of the key elements on why that transactions are not renewed. So that is really part of that experience. And regardless of your existing payment retry techniques and solutions, additional payment recoveries and healing tools like our Vindicia Retain can yield incremental revenues for you between 5 to 10%. So I have just a couple of slides that show who Vindicia is. For those of you that don't know Vindicia, we are a provider of a cloud-based SaaS platform to help you do the subscription management. So we provide subscription management solution on the cloud on a SaaS basis. We are integrated with more than 50 payment processors worldwide, including PaySafe and others. We accept more than 90 more than 90 payment methods. And we are operating, or we support customers in more than 150 customers, because as Simon and Mike mentioned before, it's important for you to, when you're thinking about globalization, how you enable that payment capture and payment processing across the world in the markets that you decide to operate. And we serve customers across the different verticals, whether it is OTT and entertainment, media and publishing, SaaS and consumer services, telecom, and a new category that is a kind of catch-all, which is what we call everything remote, and is growing fast, connected fitness, e-learning, and many others that are into that category. So the last slide is just an example of some of our customers, the customers that we serve today and that we help succeed. And I look forward for our conversation in the breakout sessions and for our final roundtable. Thanks, Kathy. I took the liberty to change the quote. Sorry for that. Sorry to Thomas Aquinas, but I think that it's important to reinforce that customer acquisition and content are important, but retention is key. Remember that, because that's the easiest and cheapest way to grow your business. Thanks.
Thank you. I actually put you on mute because we both have a speaker on, but thank you. That was really, really informative. And just so everybody knows the joke that's been going around about the quotes, we sent everybody a template, and so I gave Jesus an award for coming up with a great quote. And there's some other awards that will be awarded to the speakers at the end of today. So we're going into breakout rooms now. We're running a little bit late. We're going to do 10 minutes up until the top of the hour, and then we're going to come back for grand Q&A and questions and wrap up. So June's going to put us all into breakout rooms now, and I will see you in one of the breakout rooms. And Jesus, if you don't want to put yourself in a breakout room, just log out of here, just close the tab, and then just click on your session as an attendee, and June will put you in the appropriate breakout room, okay? All righty. Okay. Okay, can you, I'm just trying to, there we go. Jesus is in the breakout.